Time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by New Stopette, America's leading spray deodorant. The lotion spray deodorant that's like balm to your skin. Poof! There goes perspiration. Now let's all play What's My Line?
Now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the popular Broadway columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in the New York Journal-American and papers from coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And tonight, pinch hitting for Fred Allen, whom we all miss very much, is a very charming substitute, the CBS comedian that you all know so very well from television, Mr. Jack Paar.
And on my left is the star of 3 different networks, and there are only 3, but she's dickering with the 4th, I understand. Arlene Francis.
Thank you, Jack.
And on my left, a gentleman who I bless every time I play Scrabble, and many times when I don't, for his wonderful American College Dictionary, Random House's own Bennett Cerf.
Well, on my left, of course, is our superb panel moderator, whom we panelists still like to refer to, despite all evidence you have seen on this program yourselves to the contrary, as Honest John Daly.
Thank you, Bennett. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line? It's a very hot night tonight, and we hope things will be heated up some more when we introduce the panel to some tough occupations and some fine people who've come to visit us and brought the occupations with them. We'll have a famous guest challenger a bit later on for these experts of ours, but I think right now it's time for them to meet our first challenger whose line has to be spotted. So will you sign in, please, sir? Dudley. Dudley Woodman, is that right, sir? Right. How are you, sir?
Very well, thanks very much. A bit warm.
It is a bit warm, isn't it? You really shouldn't put on that English accent. It'll just confuse the daylights out of them. Where are you from, sir?
From Stratford-upon-Avon, England.
Oh, well, I guess then it's not good to confuse them. Actually, we like to let the panel get a closer look at the challenges, so would you be good enough to take a walk down in front of the panelists for me?
Mr. Woodman? I see you, sir.
Pip, pip, Mr. Woodman.
How do you do, Mr. Woodman?
All right, Mr. Woodman, over here, if you will, and sit down next to me. And I would ask you if you're familiar with our scoring system on the program.
No, I don't think I am.
Well, actually, it's very simple. Every time you can properly give the panel a big, loud no answer, we flip a card. And when we flip 10 cards, you have won the game.
Good.
All right, now there remains only one thing to do. Let's let the folks who are at home and those who are in here in the theater with us know exactly what your line is. At this point, I will simply announce that Mr. Woodman is salaried, and we'll begin the general questioning with Miss Arlene Francis.
Mr. Woodman, you say you're from Stratford-on-Avon or Avon? How do you pronounce it?
Avon.
Avon. Do you have anything, is your appearance here in America associated in any way with the opening of the theater tomorrow, or rather Tuesday, at Stratford-on-Avon in Connecticut?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Jolly good. What? Haven't made any money so far. Are you here in the capacity of goodwill toward this theater?
Yes.
Is your job in any way theatrical?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Woodman, you come from Stratford.
Yes.
Well, if you're a representative of Stratford at the opening of Mr. Langner's Stratford job here, would you not possibly be an official of the city of Stratford in Avon?
Yes.
Well, you must be the highest there. You must be the mayor.
That's right.
That's right. The Right Honorable Mayor said, I thought they'd get it. Actually, I think we'll blame Lawrence Langner for this, but I do think it's wonderful that you're over here to lend the presence and your high office to what we all hope is going to be a wonderfully successful Shakespearean center in the United States. The Theater Guild people, Lawrence Lang, they've worked very hard. It's going to be a wonderful theater, and it's great for you to come over here. This is merely a gesture. I will not let the panel have all that satisfaction. We'll flip all the cards. That's all there is to it. And,
It's
yes,
$50, not 50 pounds, Mayor.
Yes, Dorothy.
John, I should think that the honorable gentleman would be wearing a chain around his neck. Don't all English mayors wear regalia? Or is that only on state occasions?
Were you asking if I wore a chain?
Yes.
Yes, I do. A gold chain.
Well,
You
I
wear
would-
a ball and chain, too?
You have a ball
Larry, you knew very well what I meant then.
Now, actually, I think we tried very hard to give Mayor Woodman an American accent back of the curtains there for the 15 minutes, but it didn't work. I afraid it gave too much away. Well, sir, our thanks to you for being our guest, and I hope you have a wonderful visit here in the United States. Good to have you with us.
Rayburn,
Hello there.
Dawson,
Survey's done.
The Sass,
I don't mind your shedding tears of joy, but you're crying on my new suit.
The Class,
Gonna watch the telly tonight, are you?
The Long Mike,
That is absolutely correct.
The Longer Kiss.
I've gotten aroused.
2 originals, 2 hours.
The lunatics have taken over the asylum, so...
Match Game and Family Feud together again. Weekdays at 10, only on Buzzer.
You said it very well.
Let's play.
Well, panel, I must say a smashing beginning, but let's see if we can't trip you up now. Would you be good enough to sign in as the next challenger, sir? Steve Mozaleski, right, sir? Master?
Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant. Now, you all better be careful, because I read a book, and they told me Master Sergeants are real tough when they want to be tough. Where are you from, sir?
Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton, Pennsylvania. Well, this is your hometown. Not necessarily, of course,
That's
in the service you can be in many places, depending on the whims of the Pentagon, I would imagine.
That's right.
Well, I tell you what, if the panel, I dare say, has wondered why you're here in uniform, you have the basic identification. But the sergeant does something very interesting in the Army. This is what you have to find out. To help you find out, take a walk in front of the panel, will you?
Sergeant?
Very intellectual, Sergeant.
All right.
All right, Sergeant, if you come over here, please, and sit down next to me. We'll get back to the beginning here. You know how we score this operation?
Yes, Mr. Daly.
All right, fine. You know how we score it. We'll let the folks at home and those who are here in the theater with us know what your line is. All right, panel, I guess it will not come as a great shock and surprise to you that Sergeant Mozaleski is salaried. With that announcement, we will begin the general questioning with, Mr. Parr, why don't you take a shot at this?
I think he's a soldier.
Yeah, that's you're right.
This, is there a product involved in what you do in the Army?
Yes.
There's a product involved in it? Is this used by the servicemen
Yes, it
at
is.
the post? Is this a useful item for soldiers?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Do you cook this in the mess hall? Is it served on toast? Is that the gimmick?
No, I would say that probably, no, I better not. I'll give too much away, but I think there's a lot of same thoughts going through same minds, don't you? That makes it 1 down and 9 to go, and Miss Francis.
Do you have anything to do with heavy weapons of any kind?
No, ma'am.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Sir.
Sergeant is the...
They're often served in the mess hall. Excuse me, that's...
Sergeant is the item with which you are most intimately connected in the Army issue.
Yes.
You say tissue or issue?
Issue.
Oh, issue, yes, issue.
Issue there, Charlie.
Issue there, John, yes.
Sergeant, would it be issued to a recruit when he first mustered into the Army? In the original equipment that is given to him, would this object be included?
Yes.
It would.
Yes.
Is it something to wear?
Yes.
Does he wear it in such a way that when he would line up before the top sergeant It would be visible to said top sergeant.
Yes.
It would be.
Yes.
Does he wear it above his waist?
No.
3 down and 7 to go. What's the matter, Sergeant? All right, Miss Kilgallen.
He sighed as if he wished he did. Well, does he wear it below the knees?
Yes.
Well, is it some type of something that goes on the feet or legs?
Yes.
Is it squashy rather than very, very stiff?
You mean squashy, you mean like, for instance, a sponge?
No,
or...
not really. Well, would he put it on first thing in the morning?
Well, you could say in a manner of speaking, he'd put it on first thing in the morning.
Before going to the mess hall?
Yes, so I would think so.
Would all soldiers get this, not just special kinds like paratroopers or...
All soldiers would
Yes.
get this.
All right. Get ready, Jack. Is it something that goes inside the shoe?
Something that goes inside the shoe. That would make it 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Parr.
I have the feeling that this might be something to do with women and wax. Do you issue something to women? Are you stationed near a WAC recruiting or something, and it's women,
No.
we're going for a woman's garment?
Now, you can quit any time now, Jack. You got your note about 10 minutes ago.
You always do that on this show. I thought sure it had something to do with the Brazil.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, if it isn't something that goes inside the shoe, is it anything to do with the shoe itself?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it the boot?
The shoe, the boot, is the product. You have identified it, but now all you have to do is to tell us what the sergeant has to do with the aforementioned product, to wit, the shoe.
Oh, he doesn't. I thought that Bennett had already established that he handed out the issue.
No, he just has
No?
nothing to do with
He
it.
just has something to
You
do
want
with
to ask the question, does he issue them? That'd be fine.
Why would it be fine? So you can give me a no?
Yeah.
Does he see that the shoelaces are tickety-boo?
A tickety-boo? No, he doesn't have any responsibility for the tickety-boo department. That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Sir.
Sergeant, are you the very useful fellow who makes sure that the shoes fit?
No.
No, that's 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you purchase large quantities of shoes for the Army?
No, ma'am.
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Parr.
This thing that you do this in the Western Hemisphere? In the Western Hemisphere, you do it?
Maybe not.
Well, substantially, yes, I would say.
Have
Wouldn't
you, at any time in your life, at any time, ever worn gym shoes?
Have I?
Yes.
Yes.
I've set it up, Marlene. I'll kill it. I've got it all set up. I pass to you, dear.
Are these boots any different from any other kind of shoes? I mean, would they be anything like ski boots and that sort of thing?
No, ma'am. They
Well,
wouldn't be any different.
small conference.
Maybe he measures them for any old shoe.
The water.
Horseshoes. What?
Could be horseshoes.
Snowshoes.
Gumshoe.
Well, snowshoes, any of them.
Well, if you had a good one, we've had a grand conversation, and I think that...
How was everything?
To be fair, we would have to say that sometimes the type of footwear you made specific mention of might well be connected with what it is that the sergeant is trying to do constructively while he wears the uniform of the United States Army.
I want to thank you, John Dixon.
Perfectly all right.
Well, I don't really know. Is it only the only thing I ask is it an unusual kind of footgear? I mean, does he work with the ski troops or does he work with the...
Well, that is not vitally important, so we'll just give you
quite.
a flat old no.
All
In
right.
fact, I'm going to turn in the chips for all of you because I don't think you'd get this. It's a fascinating occupation. The sergeant tests Army shoes. There's a track, and he walks around and round and round and round this track, sometimes 2 months on one assignment.
Would you like to
one
walk
pair
for
of
us,
shoes.
Sergeant?
Well,
Well, we accelerate wear, and we wear them out on this track in about a month or 2.
Well, all I can say, Sergeant, is you did a great deal more than that to get all those nice ribbons you're wearing.
that he did, and he wore out the panel, to-wit note. And thank you. It was a wonderfully interesting occupation, and nice to have a member of the United States Armed Forces with us. Good to see you. One of the things that gave me a little trouble, I was afraid that Arlene or Miss Dorothy would say, is this something that I could do or would like to do?
Oh.
Knowing them both to be hikers by nature, I wouldn't have known how to answer the question.
Giving the whole thing away.
Okay, so we'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment. But first, here's a message from Stoppet.
First, we'd like to thank Remington Rand, our alternate week sponsor, for giving up tonight's program so we can tell you about our wonderful Stoppet special. This should be sweet music to your ears. It's this wonderful Stoppet duet. With every purchase of velvety poof deodorant body powder, you get free a 47-day bottle of Stoppet lotion spray deodorant. Poof powder, Stoppet spray, both for only $1.10 plus tax. And what a perfect duet for all summer. Poof body powder is so easy to use. It sprays on, giving your skin a silky smoothness so clothes and hose slip on easily, even in sticky weather, and keeps feet comfortable, too. As for Stoppet spray deodorant, everyone knows, poof, there goes perspiration. Because Stoppet alone protects you 3 ways. First, it's a deodorant. Second, it's an antiperspirant. And third, it soothes because it's a gentle lotion spray. So all summer long, stay fresh and fragrant all over with this lyrical, logical Stoppet duet. Poof deodorant body powder, the full regular size, and free a 47-day bottle of Stoppet lotion spray deodorant. Both for only $1.10 plus tax. Do get your duet right away.
Take a look at this. Let's play.
This is too hip for you. I'll slow it down.
Let's play.
And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which, as I think you all know, my friends on the panel are blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes,
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery celebrity, we depart from the usual pattern of questioning. You ask one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and let's begin the ceremonies with Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Well, I have to do an elimination, John. The Jack Bennies and Burns and Allen have been all around New York this week, and I just want to make sure, are you any one of that famous quartet?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Have you any children?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Parr?
Are you in the theater?
Yes, I am.
Are you also in pictures?
Yes, I'm also in pictures.
Well.
Do you, in pictures, do you ever sing and dance?
Only half of that could be considered to be right.
Only half.
And we're not too sure at this time of that.
Miss Kilgallen.
Well, do you ever play dramatic roles?
Hey.
What? Oi?
Is that it?
I didn't know whether I got a yes or a no.
You got an oi.
That was just discussed at the whole fort.
Oh.
No, I think the answer is no. Mr. Parr?
Is it Judy Holliday?
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Would you be considered a comedian?
Oi.
Very funny.
I'm making a desperate attempt at that sort of thing, yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Have you ever been mentioned in the same league with Marilyn Monroe?
I think that all of us have.
Miss Kilgallen.
Are you Sherry North?
Sherry North is right. They just gave us... Mr. Parr, you can take it off now.
How are you?
See what you were missing.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Now put it back on.
Now put it back.
Now,
She's
Miss
seen
Sherry
you.
North has just given us an example of how to be very popular. That's the name of your new picture, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How to be very popular. She came and was a very generous guest, made some witticisms, looked very pretty. It wasn't too tough for you all to get. When is your picture going to open?
I think it'll come out about the 21st of this month at the Roxy.
Well, we all read, at least I've read, and I'm sure my colleagues have read good things about it, and I hope that it's a great screaming success.
I think that you will find it
Which
pretty
is the
enjoyable.
half that you did, the dancing or the singing?
The dancing.
The dancing. Never sing?
You may.
Bennett doesn't either, but that's his way of being very, very popular, you see.
I think that could be considered mine, too.
Well, thanks very much for being our guest. Would you say hello to the panel? It's nice to have had you with us now. Good night.
When celebrities match contestants,
King Kong.
King Kong.
King Kong.
it's fun.
Well, I have matched. That's what I said.
But when married celebrities match each other,
He's my big, handsome man.
That's what
it's perfect.
What is there to say?
Match Game, followed by Tattletales, a perfectly matched pair.
You're not fooling around with pussycats up here, folks.
Oh, we're ready.
Starting weeknights at 9 on Buzzer. Let's play.
Well, I would having a moment, remind some of you folks who are at home and some that are here in the theater that if you have an interest in trying to puzzle the panel with your occupation, the way to make application to try it is to send your picture, a small snapshot you can spare, your name, your address, your occupation, and when you expect to be in New York, and send this information not to me because that merely delays it. Send it to What's My Line, CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York 22, New York. But now let's see what our panelists can do with another challenger. Would you sign in, please, sir? Jack B. Corn, right, sir? Where are you from, sir?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. Fine. Nice to have you come to the United States. Well, I tell you what, would you just take a quick walk in front of the panel so they can get a closer look at you?
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Corn.
Hiya, sir.
All right, Mr. Corn, over here, if you will, sit down next to me. First of all, do you know how we score the operation?
Yes, sir.
Good, then let's let the folks at home and our guests here in the theater know exactly what your line is. I would announce that you are self-employed, and let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mr. Corn, does what you do amuse or entertain people or make them feel better or happier?
Well, no, I'd say no on that.
You'd say no. What would you say, John?
The question tended in its latter stages to become all-encompassing.
I was hoping.
Therefore, we will ignore the latter stages and give you a no. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Parr. It is not in the concept of entertainment a question that can be answered yes.
Something to do with cattle.
Something to do with cattle. That would make it 2 down and 8 to go. Miss Francis.
Do you work in an enclosure when you work?
No.
Small conference.
Baby, it's cold outside.
We'll revise that and say yes on that.
Is it
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes he's inside of something.
Yeah.
Are you...
A whale.
Pardon me?
A whale. That's a witticism. No, it isn't really. It's pretty dull, isn't it? I'm sorry.
His name is Jack, not Daniel. Oh, who was it?
Why?
It wasn't Daniel. That
Joshua. Who was that? Jonah.
I wouldn't trumpet that sort of thing around if I were you.
$64,000.
What?
I'm lost.
It's the heat, not the humidity.
Do you have anything to do with anything that is mechanical?
Yes.
That's nice, isn't it? Do you wear something other than what you're wearing now when you're on the job?
Well, yes.
Do you ever go up in the air?
Yes.
In Texas, there are several helicopters. Do you have anything to do with the helicopter business?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf. You have about a minute and a half to go.
Mr. Korn, when you go up in the air, is it in some kind of a structure that is attached to the earth at the other end?
Would you repeat that, please?
Well, by that I meant, might it possibly be an oil derrick or something of that sort?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Mr. Korn, when you take off, are you completely detached from the earth?
Yes.
I mean you and whatever you're in.
Yes, that's right.
But you are in something.
Yes.
Is it some type of flying machine?
Yes.
Do you pilot it?
Primarily, no.
No, he does not pilot. He's busy doing other things.
Oh.
The pilot is sort of accessory. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Parr. Time for about 2 questions.
Do you fly now and pay later?
Fly now and pay later. No. 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you have anything to do with jets?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
You test the new kind of machine?
Not anymore.
8 down and 2 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you have anything to do with skywriting?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, and I've got to flip the last one on time, but I don't think you'd have gotten it. Mr. Korn is a professional rainmaker. He seeds the clouds with silver iodide and makes the rains fall out of the heavens. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for having with us tonight. And I would say one word. I was out in Dearborn this weekend with my youngsters, and I thought of Fred Allen because we were in a steel mill. I don't know why, but Fred is recovering from an appendicitis, and it's going to make a lot of difference to all of us to know that he's coming along well, and that we do know tonight. We'll be back in just a moment, but first here's Arlene Gray with an announcement from Stopette.
Have you been almost standing on your head to find the right deodorant? Well, here's news that may just set you straight. You've heard folks carry on about wonderful Stopette lotion spray deodorant. Well, here's Stopette in a brand new cream form for those who may prefer a cream deodorant. And unlike so many other look-alike products, this is a true cream, gentle and soothing with no harsh evaporating alcohols. And look, its new swivel case works just like a lipstick. Think of it. No stubborn jars, no gooey fingers. No waste, nothing to wash off. And like the original spray deodorant, you can expect more of Stopette. You can count on protection all day long, because Stopette alone protects you these 3 ways. First, it's a deodorant. Second, it's an antiperspirant. And third, it soothes, because it contains the same soothing ingredients you find in Stopette lotion spray. Try new Stopette cream deodorant. The new way to smooth away perspiration.
Some people just can't keep a secret. Aren't you glad? I've got a secret next. Then more probing surveys and insane answers as families fight it out on Family Feud. Stay tuned.
And now, before our panel says goodnight, may I remind you to tune in again next Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, when once again we invite you to play What's My Line? For other localities, check your local listings if they haven't melted for the date and time of our weekly series. And now, a word from our alternate sponsor.
Throughout the world, only one company produces all types of business machines and systems. Remington Rand, creators of over 160 accounting and punch card machines, 120 record control and filing systems, 80 adding machines and printing calculators, and a complete line of electronic computing systems. Remington Rand, manufacturers of over 20,000 products to serve the world of business.
Jack Parr, our thanks for so ably representing Fred with us tonight. It's been nice to have you with us. Until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Miss Dorothy.
Good night, John. Good night, Fred. Good night, Jack.
Good night, Fred. Good night, Arlene.
Thank you, Jack. It was nice to have you with us. Good night, Fred. Good night, Moby Dick.
I'm going to introduce you to that Bible lady who won all that money. Nice guy. Good night, Fred. Good night, John.
Good night, Bennett. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on Joshua in the Whale. Good night.
Transportation for What's My Line is arranged through American Airlines, America's leading airline, serving 77 major cities throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.